Hey guys, look, it's Ruby. What do you mean, Ruby? Well, red, white, black, yellow. Yes. Get on a jet ski. A speedophile sea shark. Oh, for Christ's sake. This good enough? This good enough? Hey? Yeah. What if you give me like if start, hold on. Is this good enough? Got the I'm about drifting in. We're slowly drifting in, so we better start. Yes. And before Twitch shuts me down. Anyhow. They were the last persons. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was the director of a firm called Butts, which made butts. He was a very big, beefy man with hardly any neck, although he did have a very large butt. Emma Blacker's right, this is hilarious. Mrs. Dursley was Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde and had nearly twice the amount. Can't do it. I'm not very good at reading detergent. Anyway, Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde and had nearly twice the usual amount of butt, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time craning over garden fences, spying on the neighbours. The Dursleys had a small son, which they called Butt, and in their opinion, there was no finer butt anywhere. This is really fun. The Dursleys had everything they wanted, but they also had a butt, and oh, where is it? I've lost my place. And their greatest fear was somebody would discover their butt. They didn't think they could. They didn't think they could bear it if anyone found out about the Potters. Mrs. Potter was Mrs. Dursley's sister, but they hadn't met for several butts. In fact, Mrs. Dursley pretended she didn't have a butt, because her butt and her good-for-nothing butt were undursley-ish as it was possible, undursley-ish as it was possible to be. Yeah, that'd be funny. However, it's not copyright if I'm reading it with butts. Right? That's how it works, okay? Can I steer this thing? Like, I'm not even driving it, but I can still steer, right? Yeah. The Dursleys shuddered to think what the neighbours would say if the Butts arrived in the street. Harry Butt, yeah. I'm just going to change the word Potter to Butt. And then every other word. The Dursleys knew that the Butts had a small son too, but they had never seen him. This Butt was another good reason for keeping the Butts away. They didn't want Butt Dudley mixing with a butt like that. And Mr. and Mrs. Dursley woke up on the dull grey Tuesday. On the dull grey Tuesday our story starts. There was nothing about the cloudy sky outside to suggest that strange and mysterious butts would soon be happening all over the country. So dumb. Mr. Dursley hummed as he picked out his most boring tie for work when Mrs. Dursley gossiped away. Happily, she wrestled a screaming butt into his high chair. Nothing of them, that's not a sense. None of them noticed the large tawny butt flutter past the window. At 8:30, Mr. Dursley pecked Mrs. Dursley on the butt and tried to kiss Dudley goodbye, but missed, because Dudley was now having a butt and throwing his butt at the walls. Oh my God! Oh, Jesus! Jeez, anyone else finding this as hilarious as I am? Oh. Oh, shall we continue, children? Oh. Little dyke chortled Mr. Dursley as he left the butt. He got into his butt and backed out of number 4's drive. It was on the corner of the street that he noticed the first butt of something peculiar. A cat reading a butt. Oh, fucking hell. For a second, Mr. Dursley didn't realize what he was seeing. Then he jerked his head around and looked again. Excuse me while I read that. Then he jerked his butt around to look again. Fucking Christ. Oh. She sized and she rustled the screaming. This is definitely a stream highlight, by the way. Oh my god. It was... Yeah, I've read that bit. There was a tabby cat... Oh, there was a tabby butt standing on the corner of River Drive, but there wasn't a map in sight. What could he have been thinking of? A butt. It must have been a trick of the butt. Mr. Dursley blinked and stared at the butt. It stared back as Mr. Dursley drove around the corner and up the butt. He watched the cat in the mirror. It was now reading the sign that said Privet Drive. No, looking at the sign. Cats couldn't read maps or butts. Mr. Dursley gave him a little butt and pulled the cat out of his mind. As he drove towards the butt, he thought of nothing except a large order of butts he was hoping to get that day. Is this as magical for you as it is for me? I'm gonna have to do a whole video on this. It's hilarious. But on the edge of butt, Drills were driven out of his mind by something else. As he sat in the usual morning traffic butt, he couldn't help but notice that there seemed to be a lot of strangely dressed people about. People in butts. Mr. Dursley couldn't bear people who dressed in funny butts. The get-ups he saw on the young people. He supposed that this was some kind of new butt. He drummed his fingers on the butt wheel and... Oh my god! This is so funny. I don't even get it. God damn. Oh. I think I'm gonna die. This is the best stream ever. Oh. Anyhow, let me just tweet out that we're... He drove around the corner and up the butt. Perfect. Shall we read it in a different voice? He drummed his fingers on the steering wheel as his eyes fell on a huddle of these weirdos standing quite close by. They were whispering They were whispering excitedly together. Mr. Dursley was buttered to see that the couple of them weren't young at all. Well, that man had to be older than he was, and he was wearing an emerald green butt. Oh my god. Jesus. The nerve of him! But then it struck Mr. Dursley that this was probably some silly stunt. These people were obviously collecting for something. Yes, that would be it. The butt moved on, and a few minutes later, Mr. Dursley arrived in the butt car park. His mind back on butts. Oh, his mind back on butts. I'm getting further and further away from Los Santos. There's so many quotes. Oh my god. Jesus. I think we have to read this entire book. Obviously. In fact,